Good morning, everyone. We're going to do a roll call for today's painting meeting. So we're going to see who's here, starting with me, Billy Taveras, 302.
Denise LaBelle, 102.
Bonnie Lease, 106.
Tommy Quider, 303.
Gabriel Naboa, 206.
Deanna Escobar, 208.
And you are, sir?
I am Kirk Argyropoulos, the owner of John the Greek Painting.
I beg your pardon?
Kirk Argyropoulos, the owner of John the Greek Painting.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Pleased to meet you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, green
Thank you.
Tom Hardaway, 209.
Jose Messia, 103.
So you're the painter. You got.
Yeah.
Hey, not for nothing. I see signs everywhere.
Yeah. It's in the blood.
Everywhere.
I'm second Greek. Yeah. I live here, actually, by the way, too.
Oh, really?
I'm on 13th. Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
just bought a house 6 months ago.
Oh, congrats, man.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Okay, so we have the majority of the board is here. Kyra, are you on as well? Kyra, are you there? Well, she hung up. Okay. Yes, we can hear you, Kyra. Good.
Hi, Kyra. It's Denise.
Cheryl Walker's here, 307.
Okay.
Any other virtual people out there?
Peggy McRae, 304.
Thank you, Peggy. All right, so we're going to get started. Want to say thank you, everybody, for coming this Saturday morning. Sorry we're a little bit late. As we all know what we're doing here and why we're doing it. So a lot of people are excited about this paint project coming up. And we brought Kirk, and I cannot pronounce his last name, so he's going to say it. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Kirk.
Kirk Argyropoulos.
He's with John the Greek, and he's going to be answering any questions or any concerns that anyone has today, or anything else that you guys want to ask regarding this paint project. He's the man that will be answering it. And as you know, we have an assessment that we brought up, and the numbers were such that Isabella, if you want to go ahead and just explain it, how we're paying for the project.
Of course. So
Thank you.
at the table here, I'm going to show it to everybody. Just give me a second. Oh, share my screen here. Okay, can you guys see my screen right now?
Can you see it? Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so basically the project, the estimate that we got from Join the Greek is for $42,000. And basically you guys are going to pay from the funds, from the Sears report, it will be $19,000. From the saving funds, $10,000, and then there will be a special assessment for $13,000. This $13,000 will be paid in 6 installments starting April 1st. And here is the table where you can see this will be the entire special assessment per unit, and this will be each installment. Installment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
So we're going to be paying $87 for a 2-bedroom, $87.06, $77.37 for a 1-bedroom.
Correct.
If you guys see that for 6 months, I don't think that's a bad, horrible, thing in terms of payment wise. We don't like assessing, and we don't want to do assessments, and we don't want. But at the end of the day, there are things that have to be done, and it's the board's responsibility to make sure these things are taken care of. And on our Sears report, painting is one of them, waterproofing is one of them. So we are doing that, and after this, everything on our Sears report will have 10 plus years on each lifeline per se, and that's going to put this HOA in a great position. As long as we can continue to save money, not spend money, and just keep doing what the state asks of us. We're a small unit, we're a small community. We are going to fly under the radar per se, and we are going to be hopefully doing really well coming up for the next couple of years. God forbid anything crazy happens, barring anything crazy. But other than that, like I said, I don't think this board wants to or cares to do any more crazy projects or heavy projects. We want to maintain, and we want to just do what everybody wants, and that's make the association affordable, make everybody have, you know, a lower HOA payment monthly and keep this place up to par and then some. Anybody on the board have any questions or anyone want to say something?
One of the things that I just asked Kurt about is that we are not getting the walkways, the catways done. We're not getting the railings done this time, but I requested if we could get a special estimate on that, whether it's done on this or just past the
I
rainy
think you
season
sent that.
next year, then,
I think he did send
appreciate
it.
it.
Yeah, we got.
So I think it was like $8,000 maybe.
Yes, sir.
More or less.
In that range.
And I don't have it in front of me, so I'm gonna say about $8,000. But we're not gonna need that to preserve the building. You know, when I talked with Sadeep J, the appraiser, he said to me, you know, painting the building is preserving your concrete, and you are literally, you know, investing in your future because these are the things that have to be done. And the catwalk is not part of that, but we could always come back to the catwalk where as we build our slush/contingency fund, where we could use money from there so we don't have to assess, you know, unless there's a major issue with a catwalk, then we don't have to, you know, do anything, you know, right away. We can take our time and get it done in a fiscally responsible way to not, you know, burden our pockets.
There's some minor repairs to the catwalk, different places.
Correct. There's some very minor repairs. There's what we call hairline fractures that can be fixed up.
the one in that upper corner
Yeah.
up there, that's kind of a
Yeah,
little
the
bit of
first
what you're doing, but you're using, excuse me, a special kind of cement or whatever for that one, I think.
Correct. The eyebrow piece, there's a crack there, and then there's a pretty prominent crack at that mansard roof and stucco soffit that
Okay.
Billy and I had noted, and I put onto the report onto my bid. It is a report of such
Right.
to as an exhibit to repair. Yes, it's above a hairline crack, and it needs a little bit more additional preparation and patching with some cementitious gel patch, which is noted within the contract.
Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of the worst of it when it comes to concrete repairs, but there is sporadic hairline cracks throughout the building, which is all part of the bid as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he'll be addressing all of that.
Yeah, and I'm going to get into the whole holistic approach of why and what, because it's kind of like a big comprehensive thing, but I'd let you guys have your moment here because it's important and imperative. Yeah.
So that just what Kirk just said. He's going to start talking about his scope of work. He's going to explain. I know there was people concerned about the soffits, the building. There was a little patch down here on the walkway as well, on the stairwell. I should say. I'm sorry, the east stairwell. So he will be addressing all of that. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Kirk so he can start explaining. And if anybody has questions at the end, please ask questions and we'll go from there.
Excellent. I'm going to sit here so I can address the group, not give anybody my back. So good morning, everybody. How's everybody? Good. Okay, excellent. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come meet with the lovely community. To dovetail on what was discussed, painting, and again, to our credit of what we do, is the first line of defense for anything when it comes to waterproofing and sustainability long-term on a building. As a community of your size, you guys can get in a tough spot from concretes, engineer, and deteriorating surfaces, which opens up you guys for liability. Luckily, with the communication with Billy and I and the Sears report, and then your 40-year inspection was, I believe, is coming up, correct?
I believe we had 40 years.
Yeah.
Oh, so ready.
Yes. We had a good one.
Yeah.
In respect to that, you want to continue with that lineage of upkeep on the building, because if you do not have a lineage of that, and there's a history of let's call it improper upkeep, you will be dinged down the line 100%. And they're quite punitive. And by punitive, I mean costly. So you don't want to get in a situation in which, luckily you're not, because we're painting the building and we're going to be sustainable about that, in a spot where you have excessive concrete repairs and then spalling and then flooring issues, because now you open yourself up to a huge liability. I don't say this to scare you guys. I'm just telling you to tell you the reality of how it is right now in South Florida. It's become a cottage industry. Yeah.
I just want to say, I don't know if you guys have been watching the news, but there was a place in Miami that they are kicking everyone out. It's a condominium. They are kicking everyone out of their condominium because the walls were cracking. They did not repair. They did not fix it. They did not maintain or upkeep.
Yeah.
Everyone has been getting evicted from this place. It's been on the news. You know, thank God we're nowhere near that.
Worst case scenario, obviously, yeah.
That's the worst, and I think everyone should be cognizant, look around, if you see something,
Yeah.
state something.
Yeah.
You know, the board could only do so much, but we need everyone's help. It's a small community, it's
Yeah.
a small building.
Yeah.
Let's stay on top of things
Yeah.
before it gets worse at all times.
With respect to that as well, is that you guys are quite communicative of the status of the building. I heard that. I responded as such by putting language and exhibits to back that up. It's one thing saying, it's another thing doing, right? So, with that, also, you have a 10-year warranty from Sherwin-Williams, which also has a specification for the painting. I can't control how other people do business. All I can control is how we, as a company, does business to arrive at a place that's not only sustainable but affordable, and to make sure the contract is written as such that you have protection, not only for you but for us, because we want to make sure that we're locked in on our scope of work and what is expected of us. May there be some unforeseen thing that may pop up post pressure washing? Of course. But we're talking about hours and not tens of thousands of dollars to address as such, which we would bring up to your attention if we ever get at that juncture. So with respect to your fiduciary responsibility and the responsibility as a board for maintenance, I think you guys are in front of it. And I think obviously hiring me is the best move and us with respect to that, because it is a paint job with a little bit more of preparation patching.
Yeah.
Per what I noted on the account. All right. And we are treating it top down. We do have the managers as part of our scope of work. We are using elastomeric paint top down. We are treating cracks top down. We are treating anything that's spalling in specific areas like you had mentioned, ma'am, or in some areas in the corner. That's already been listed. So is there going to be a spot or two missed that's not on my report? Yes. Are we going to address it? Absolutely. Am I going to come out and every time I see something and say, oh, that's another $10? That's not what I'm going to do. All right. That's not how we operate. With respect, I'm a neighbor. I live here. You guys can see my signs are in the community for good reason. It's because we do good work. We're a family business. I'm the son. I took over the business. This is what we do every day, from condo boards to buildings. To houses. So we're very well versed in dealing with this and staffing it with the appropriate foreman and have an appropriate chain of command communication. And of course, following the North Star, which is the work order and the specification from Sherwin. So I know that's a mouthful, but that's the reality of what we do and how we achieve it. So, and we've been successful at it. So I think for the price you guys got, it's pretty fair, considering where it could be cost per unit, because that is significantly lower than other buildings we're doing because of the condition they're in, because of deferred maintenance, and because of, I don't want to say malfeasance because that's not the case. Let's just say people asleep at the wheel and not maintaining their buildings, unfortunately. So with respect to that, I'm open to you guys asking any questions in regards to what's in the contract, what's not in the contract, and any other questions you guys may have about the job.
There was a question that came up to me a couple times. People were concerned because we just had new pavements, the new parking lots put in, and people mentioned that they were concerned that you guys may be bringing in lifts, but you said no, that's ladders only. Is that correct?
This is correct. The reason why is finances, honestly. If you can only access 20% of the building with a boom lift, it gets very expensive very quick. The meter starts running. I can get a boom lift. I can spend your money if you want me to. The reality is we're able to achieve success without having to spend those extra funds. Booms are really accessible in 3 spots. 1, 2, and 3. Everywhere else is ladders. There's no app for gravity. You just got to get up there and you got to do it. You can't build a scaffolding because every time you build a scaffolding, you got to break it down and move it over.
Correct.
More time, more money. If it was 50 feet in the air, then yes, we got to do something, but that's achievable with a ladder. And tech in my space means a good ladder. You know, you can't float, you can't levitate, you got to get up there some way. That's very accessible. So with respect to what you had said, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
How do you pressure wash from a ladder?
You're going to have to pressure wash top down. And there is some allowance from a pressure wash and extension. But if we're going to pressure wash the roof to paint, we're going to have to get off that flat roof. So we're going to get up top and pressure wash down.
How do you see over the top to pressure wash?
We'd have to go up through that roof access, the flat roof access.
Okay, you're on the roof.
Yeah.
How do you pressure wash wherever you have to get to by ladder? Because there's an overhang that you have to go over.
Yeah. The top would be done from the roof line, and the bottom will be done by ladder.
And that's step 1.
That's step 1.
Jeez.
Correct. Yes. Step 1 is creating a workflow and a chain of command and communication to make sure we have one point of contact in communication with our point of contact. So there is no crosstalk. Everybody knows where we are, what's going on. The notice will be followed. That way we don't move cars around 14 different times because it can go sideways very quickly is my point. So with the community, you guys have parking, you need access, you need to be able to get in. So we're going to put together a workflow. As soon as you guys approve us, we do a pre-construction meeting with whoever wants to be here and the main point of contact, maybe Billy, maybe not, and our project manager. And then that is the chain of command and communication to start top down and then issue the, let's call it notices, and then get into colors, which is a whole other thing. We don't need to talk about today. And then of course, workflow. So you guys know.
So in regards to colors, what he's going to do is we're going to send out three different colors, and we're hoping that we can get one color that 75% of the people can agree with, so we can change this current color that we have.
But by 75%, that is condo law.
That's
not
state law.
Bylaws, yeah.
So state law, and you know, for me personally, I think I kind of just want to disassociate ourselves with this building across the street. Number one, because you know we're very much looking like them.
Yeah.
Number one, number two, I think doing this project, we need to add value to our property through this project, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we got to get the biggest bang. So once he sends the colors and starts sending things out to people, he's also going to paint the three colors on a wall here.
Yeah.
We start talking. Everybody needs to start talking to each other and tell us everyone we like. So when we do vote, we want to get that 75%, so we can make this investment and the best way we can go forward.
Yeah. And with respect to that, you know, it's the old adage. It's form versus function. Obviously, paint is aesthetic. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But the form of what we're talking about, the most important part is how we're going to arrive there. Because coverage is all part of it, but you want something beautiful, but you want it to be sustainable, obviously. So colors can be very tricky to talk about at a meeting because everybody's got their own opinion.
Correct.
So I don't want to go down that road just yet, but we are here together to talk about that once we get to that juncture. And I'll make it very simple because each bylaw is different. Like this place, you need 3/4, right? So get 3/4 people to agree on anything can be very difficult. With respect to that, I know you guys are on the same page with that. So I'll be able to present you guys with my experience of what works with this building, some renderings, and then put samples on the wall so you guys can make a decision collectively.
And that'll be part of the contract, right?
Yes, sir.
The color.
Yes. Yeah.
Jose has a question.
Yeah.
Jose,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. In a project this size, how long like, for example, let's say the cars are going.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how long would they have to be moved about?
In this case, because it impacts only two sides, likely by moved, it just needs to be maybe relocated for the day. At the most, a week of displacement on each side, because we're trying not to impact everybody. You guys have fixed parking. But we'll be working off ladders. We're going to determine that once we do get the workflow going, because I can put more production on that side if you guys don't have the spots. That kind of gets worked out in the pre-construction meeting, sir. So, but if anything, you're not going to be displaced for more than a couple of days. By displaced, only between 8 and 4, obviously.
So if you're working,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
If you come at 3:00 in the afternoon, you can park
Yeah.
across the street,
Yeah.
park at a guest spot off the spot.
Yeah.
It's not,
You guys know what to do.
yes, limited impact. Obviously, if there's not a car there, we got to cover it completely. Like for whatever reason, somebody left for Alaska cruise, they're
Right.
gone. So there's no key. We got to continue on.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose the day or whatever the case may be. So we're just ready for that. But I think with a good plan, you're able to avoid a lot of that stuff.
Can you take a color suggestion from us? Your 3?
Yeah, of course. I'm all ears to hear what you guys.
We've been asking people to
Yeah.
send us their requests. I think
Yeah.
Peggy was the only one that sent us anything. So,
Yeah.
yes, we, at the last meeting,
Tommy-
say that.
Tommy had a great point. Go ahead and elaborate what you were saying.
Light baby blue.
Okay, lovely.
So maybe, can I make a suggestion? Maybe show us 3 colors and make it easier, so, because otherwise we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
26 different opinions.
different opinions.
Yeah.
So therefore, choose 3 that is pretty.
Yeah.
neutrals.
Anita,
Yeah.
Bonnie's
That's
gonna run
exactly
her apartment.
Yeah.
You've already given us a very nice chipbook.
Yeah, I
We're gonna
gave,
bring it out right now.
I gave-
Not that we need to have a final decision.
Yeah.
But just so you can get an idea.
Yeah.
So these are Sherwin-Williams paints.
Yeah.
You know, specifically for a building like this, not general paint.
Yeah.
And,
So yes, I did already
You should
provide a book,
choose from
respectfully,
that.
obviously. I mean, you may or may not have known that, but even still, to your credit, you're absolutely right. It's really the process of elimination.
Exactly.
You want to start, every time you talk about colors, you want to rule them out.
Because
Same thing with renderings, it's about ruling it out.
in a loophole.
Not have the rendering versus the color application is not the same. You do it to know that, okay, those colors don't work, right? Now you know to move on this, and then you narrow it down to 3. We'll apply it on the wall. The writing's on the wall. That's how it's going to look. That's the most important way to be able to pick.
How do we get to those 3? Who's picking those 3 and say, these ones are the ones
Well,
that would
I vote.
Yeah.
By vote.
Yeah.
by vote? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys, feedback, and just like we just heard from like one person.
Yeah.
We're bringing the chipbook out, right? If you get a feel for stuff, it's like people like a certain blue.
Yeah.
Boom, there's color number 1.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna have 3 colors.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
So the colors so far we have
Color tones. That's
Oh, okay.
color tones.
Yes.
The tone.
the
Yeah.
tone, which, yeah, right, because you can say blue, but there's
10 different blues that people would like.
darkness and.
You got pastels.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tone, white tone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
blue is one of the ones I'm hearing from people.
Okay.
What are the other 2?
We don't have to get it.
It's like, what is?
So can we start maybe throwing some?
Yeah.
Or emailing, like I said, Peggy was the only one that sent us anything, so.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
like those numbers.
You and I were talking about yellow.
Yeah.
So, and the reason why is because it's very beady.
Oh, yeah.
It's very kind of Key
Yes.
West.
Yeah, keeping the Key West name.
And when you think of a color and matter of fact, I've been taking pictures of the neighborhood, around Victoria and everything else. So there's some of them we've been talking about, some of them are just too bright, like canary, you know, and then there are other ones that
I'm gonna
are
sell
soft.
You just,
So
can you see the?
if we can maybe throw that one into the mix, I don't know how to go about that. Is that something that
I
we
think 2 things. One, once he paints it on the wall, because we could see it on that book, but every time you paint something, that color will change.
Yeah.
It's,
Absolutely understand.
darkens up or whatever.
Yeah.
It might not give you the same, oh, I didn't think it was gonna look like this kind of deal.
Yeah.
So he's
Tell me
also
what
gonna be
numbers?
doing pictures of our building and putting those colors
Yeah.
in
How
those.
would it look like?
That's what I mean by rendering. Forgive me.
So-
It's a digital photo.
167.
Colors superimposed onto it.
So if we
Yeah.
show you ideas of like this, how would
Yes.
this building look like?
That's the best way to go to be able to start narrowing things down.
I like that. So we can.
AI, Diana.
Correct.
That now and show you what a color looks like.
Right, I'm happy with that AI.
We'll go with
Maybe.
AI.
No,
To us, we'll do it.
The houses still painted white, they're not getting painted, right?
Likely, yes, it's an accent. I do want some white palette cleanser. I call white a palette cleanser.
I know.
It's a color to be able to have a contrast on. So, yeah,
Well, the doors and the balusters will stay white. No?
yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Again, I'm here to guide you guys. It's good that you guys have, the rhythm and the flow of what you guys.
Communication.
I got it.
Again, I'm here to help.
Okay, let me get it.
It's number 1.
Is there any other questions regarding to the function of the job or anything regarding the workflow or anything else you guys want to know about within the contract?
Cheryl, anyone on Zoom that want to ask questions, it's open to you as well.
Yeah, I do have a question, and that is, for the windows that still have some of the hurricane shutters, will they all be taken down and removed permanently, or are they gonna be put back up? I hope not.
I think the thing is, one, that those hurricane shutters are very old, and to be honest with you, it makes our building look like
Outdated.
SHIT. It's horrible. It's an eyesore.
It is.
And you got some that have it, some on the first floor, some on the second floor.
Falling.
Ideally, we like to just take them all out, not put them up. And if you're on the corners, on the outside, get hurricane-proof windows, guys, because it's going to save you on energy, 1, and 2, you don't have to put those things. I mean, if there is, God forbid, a hurricane, who's going to take them down? Who's going to put them up? Because each person will be individually responsible anyway.
I wrote down your
So
number.
I think that in his quote that he gave us was him taking it down and patching any holes that it has on there. So
Okay,
I'm
good.
not 100% sure. Maybe Tom, you can answer. Do we have to have 75% of the people to vote on on that as well?
That's a question.
If we
that-
change the color, we do.
Those may be considered a limited common element,
Right.
just like a parking lot.
Okay.
If they're a limited common element, then you must have approval. I think it's gonna be 75% of the owners must approve taking them down permanently. I don't know the answer to that question.
Tell me.
We're gonna ask Isabella and Alexandria that question, and we're gonna just double check. But I think the majority of people do want to see it come down.
Another
So-
suggestion would be,
Hurricane windows and impact residence doors are generally considered limit common elements in condominiums rather than a standard common element, meaning that the association typically manage them, but the owner is often responsible for the cost. Right? In homeowners associations, owner can install and approve code compliant impact products, though the homeowners association set designs, colors, and style specifications. So, so it's considered limit commons elements, the hurricane windows. So you already know.
So that being said, that we do not need a vote on this, or we do need a vote to take those down.
We need to have a vote if we need to put it down. Yes, we need a vote.
Can we do that vote separately, per se, just so we could get that out of the way, and then we can move forward with the whole way we want to move? Does that make sense?
Yes, my opinion is to focus on the paint first and
Right.
then do the hurricane windows after.
Right. Not so much hurricane windows, but the shell, the shutters.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called, hurricane shutters.
Clamshell shutters.
Clamshell shutters.
Yes.
And for those that do have the hurricane shutters up, we also need a backup plan because I'm one of those to get the windows that you're talking about, the hurricane impact windows and how much in accordance to code for this building.
Right.
I know there's a few.
What you just call the impact window companies, and they'll come and start giving you, quote.
I found out the one we did, it was pretty
Yeah.
reasonable.
And they're not that bad because you only have so many windows. I mean, you got more because you're on a corner per se, so you're gonna have more windows, more natural light. But that being said, you know, if I had to guess $4,000 maybe for everything.
I can make recommendations too.
You mean like what? Yeah, it's like 10 grand.
Oh, 10? Okay.
15.
Yes,
Corner,
you have
yeah.
90 days.
So that's.
Jose, you have a question? Go ahead.
Well,
Some
see, like
point.
mine
From
and also
Okay.
one of ours, because I remember when I came here, that was all approved.
No, I want to be.
Those are gutters.
And like you
Those,
said,
those screws are shutters that are numbered in our shed, whatever that's called. So when a hurricane comes, I have to put it all to the subway.
Have you put it up since you've lived here?
Yes, twice.
Okay. Twice?
To 3
every
times.
Okay.
Sunday morning.
And one of.
Are you gonna suggest the wall?
TV on YouTube.
No, I don't.
Grades.
All right, so we're gonna get to that. I guess we'll cross that bridge later. Any other questions for Kirk while he's here, guys? Anyone on the Zoom meeting? Anyone?
Is it appropriate to talk about financing?
Yeah, go ahead. Anything you want to talk about?
Okay, so at some point we'll approve the project and we have 6 months to collect the money. It's only gonna take you 10 days or 2 weeks to paint the building. So do you require, I mean, do we have to have all of the money, you think?
Yeah.
Before the paint project started?
Great question. We're flexible. You touched on, it's not gonna take 2 weeks to do the building.
It's gonna take a little
A
longer.
little longer, but
Okay.
likely a calendar month-ish, right? Depending on weather and some unforeseen things. But it's not gonna take 3 months to do the job. Be very clear about
No,
that.
I know.
Yeah.
You want to be paid.
But with respect to that, we can work something out. We don't live job to job. As long as the job is funded, we can defer the money for Sherwin-Williams because we are gonna do a notice to owner. This is your paint, by the way. Does not belong to me. We procure it for you guys. Follow the specification, but it belongs to you. We are responsible for ascertaining it, ordering it, and then getting it to the job site, and of course, leaving some left over for you guys to use for touch-ups. With that said, sir, I think we can work off a deposit and then do some type of tiered out system where it cannot impact you guys in a spot where you guys are.
For the warranty, is Sherwin-Williams responsible for maintaining the paint, peeling or whatever? Or do you guys fix it and charge us, or fix it and charge them?
That's a great question. So warranties are certified by two parties, John the Greek Painting.
Yeah.
And by Sherwin-Williams proper. They're a publicly traded company. They have a specification in which it gets certified. They will come do. I will let them know we start the job. We'll make our first order of materials. I'll put the representation of Sherwin-Williams on notice that he needs to come and inspect the job. It's their job to inspect our job. It's the third party's duty to certify the job. You can't certify a job if you don't come here, right? So
Right.
we already have a great reputation with Sherwin-Williams for 48 years. We've been in business. We never had an issue in that regard where we had a huge warranty issue. Has there been some challenges or some blistering paint here and there? Yes, absolutely. But we are responsible for the labor part of it, and they're responsible for the material part of it. If something were to arise, I would come out. You would notify me. We'd come out, inspect it to see what it is. If it's not a leak coming from the roof or water intrusion coming from the balcony, which sometimes it is, but you guys don't have that, then it is our responsibility to repair that on our time and our dollar.
Okay.
And I will note whatever those areas are. So basically, if there's blistering, you call me right away. Yeah.
So really quick, Sherwin-Williams actually came out here and did a report because when we inquired about it, they sent Sherwin-Williams out here, and he's the one that came out and looked and says, well, in order to get your 10-year warranty from Sherwin-Williams, stucco has to be patched, certain things have to, so that's what he said. And that was a gentleman, Humberto Miranda, if I remember his name correctly. And he was the first one to tell me, your building is in great shape. You can absolutely paint it. The stucco work on the soffit is simple. All the contractors that you are talking to should easily be able to fix it. And that was the first report from the, but he said those are the things that have to be done in order for you to get this 10-year warranty. And I showed it with him.
Yeah.
He understood. He goes, I see this all the time. This is in my report as well.
Will all the patches be visible, or?
Tiana, do you have a number? Do you have a number?
So
I did.
patches are, I want to be straight. A patch is a patch, guys. You'd rather have you do try your best to feather in a given area. When a patch is presented to you, you prepare it, you pressure wash it first, you prepare the blistering paint, you open it up with a putty knife, right? You seal it, and then you patch it with elastomeric patch. You do try your best to feather it in. You'd rather have more patch than less patch, because if it's going to start to fail with a thin patch, it's going to fail those areas first in the first year or two. So it's always our experience with our decades of doing this to put it on thicker, trial it in, and then paint it in with a brush, and then repaint it again, because you have a couple layers built up. Is there raised areas? Yes. You'd rather have a raised area, but it's not egregious, sir. So it's not, it is an older building, right? But with respect to that, a patch will be slightly visible, especially if you use a satin finish, which I do recommend.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
getting at, kinda, is a lighter color paint will show these blemishes less than a real dark paint.
It can.
It's like when you paint a
Yes.
dark hole, you can see everything is.
Yes, because there's a reflectivity to the sheen.
Okay.
In the shade, you're not going to see it versus in the light.
I was going to say, yeah, certain areas.
So again, I don't want to lie to you and say, oh, it looked perfect. Yes. Next,
Yeah.
there's going to be a little bit of I call it scarring, because it is a general scar, but it's not, you'd rather have a light scar than a let's call it a shit patch.
Right.
So there's a little bit there in which I can only be honest, right? And it is a building. There's going to be blemishes and imperfections, right? Unless you float a whole wall with stucco, which gets very costly, you will always notice something to some degree, especially if a keen eye. I call it a gift and a curse. If you notice everything, you'll see everything all the time, right? But the reality is there's a little bit of a give and a take.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that being said,
Yeah.
we already had, as I walked with you and that Miles Harrod, the engineer that day.
Yeah.
You see that there's already patches, certain areas, there's certain things, and
Yeah, I mean,
it's a 6-year-old building.
Yeah.
There's only so much. Yeah.
Say you're going to see a little bit, like, okay,
Yeah.
it's not like you didn't tell us,
Right.
My job is to manage expectations. And you never say perfect. You never say, you always want to overpromise and underdeliver. Forgive me. Underpromise and overdeliver. Forgive me. Said that backwards. But you get my point, right? It's, yeah.
I was just to make sure everyone's paying attention.
That's a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Take care of trimming back the trees beforehand, because we are touching the building.
So there is some there. Yeah. My guys are not scared of using a little bit of a machete here and there. But there is some of the, yeah.
Should be.
Yeah.
As back as you can, actually.
Yeah, luck, you're right. I would say if you have your landscape guy here, have him do a lap and say we're painting. Bushes, at least 6 inches. Trees, just give it a nice little trim so you can get in there with a ladder and a brush. You guys luckily don't have you're not overrun with red vegetation like that. Look, that over there, you don't have to cut that back. You can, work around it and put visqueen up. Yeah. So I don't like to hack things back if you don't need to, but respectfully, yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
We love our trees.
Yeah, mostly the bushes, honestly, against the building are the toughest part. You gotta get in back there.
Mention that.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So I was also talking to another gentleman that came and did an appraisal. His name is Sandeep J. And he mentioned that our building was built in the 60s. And when they did it, the cement that they had back then was a better quality than they started using in the late 70s, early 80s, because they started mixing their cement. And that's why you see a lot of condominiums that have to go with concrete restoration. So you're going to be going and you'll be seeing our building, the construct of it.
Yeah.
And you'll be giving us a report and letting us know how it looks.
You guys will be the first to know if something is to come up. Luckily, we've been very open and I'm working on this for months now, it seems, to walk around. I've made several site visits. I've done many photos and many diagrams. Luckily, I would call yours superficial repairs with some additional concrete repairs, but they're still in that superficial range and not actual concrete restoration. Concrete restoration gets into heavy drilling, into rebar. I call it an open-ended root canal.
We don't want to go there.
Can you imagine?
Never want to go there, people.
It is the reality is I use that term and people laugh, but it's a truth. Once you're into it, it's an open-ended root canal. You got to keep drilling until you get past the rebar and past the rebar again, and then treat the rebar and then build it out again. And that's case by case. And it can become very, very expensive very quickly. Yeah.
So there's a lot of condominiums that get assessed a lot of money in a short period of time because of this, and knock on wood.
Oh, we're talking $40,000-$50,000 per unit.
Per unit.
I mean, it
gets crazy.
Yeah.
And we're trying to avoid that with this paint job. We're trying to preserve our concrete. This is very important. This is a very important project.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad we're taking care of it now while we can.
Yeah.
As it should be.
Unfortunately, because of Surfside and what happened, red flags went up everywhere. South Florida, unfortunately, has bad operators and bad actors that it kind of let's say, exploit a thing, and it's become exploited very much so. And it's some bad actors like engineers and bad contractors will get you online. The community thinks they're doing a good thing by getting an engineer when in reality you're not there yet, and it becomes this open-ended thing.
Yeah.
Once you're in, you're done. That's it. You're in. There's no getting out of it.
Once the city gets a wind of what you're doing, you're not getting out of it, and so they give you the okay. And it's all about this with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the other reason we also picked John McGreek is I want you guys to do a Google review on him. He's got, I think it was 4.8 stars out of 5. So very highly recommended. Very good job, and he has really good hair. So it doesn't get better than this, guys.
Between the hair and all the signs on everything.
Yeah. So, guys, if there's any other questions for Kirk here, speak up now. If you have any concerns, anything with the stucco, the soffits, catwalk, those questions, this is the time to ask. Please do. Anyone online? Jose.
I don't want to keep reiterating.
No, go ahead.
But I really am concerned about that issue with the hurricane panels. Because that was approved when I was first here. They are all numbered. They're ready to go. Not only those 2 windows, but one in the back. And I think that to put us in a situation that we have to get extremely expensive windows right now, I don't want to go there.
Well, just to be clear, no one's telling you have to get expensive windows right now.
No. But I'm just saying I don't want to get rid of that system.
Right.
Panels, because those panels are already ready to go for any kind of hurricane.
No problem. We all get to vote on it, so we're going to vote on it, and then we'll go from there.
And if I want to make it's really just the clamshells we're talking about. We're not talking about
the holes.
These tracks. I would say that's a different thing. Having extra protection for those tracks does not impact our paint job. We can paint them, but not freeze them in with paint. So,
Well,
Yeah.
just to be clear.
yeah,
Those were painted, the last time this building was painted.
Yeah.
If you look at them right there.
Mhm.
They have the cover of the paint.
which we would do the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're gonna do the same thing, but you also gotta be very careful not to freeze them in with paint because they have to be functioning. So my guys know well enough to dock screw them out, tippy paint it,
No,
literally,
That's what I'm.
paint it around it, and then screw it back in. So you know. So I wouldn't recommend painting them in because then when the hurricane comes and you need to undo it, you can't use them. They're unusable. So we know that well enough, and I can make language to that end.
I mean, and also to that question, Jose, what we could do, we could also take out all the clams. And for you, like you're saying, you're nervous. It's not, the shells will not be up there. You just put it up when you need it.
I'm not understanding.
So in other words, whatever is around the outside of the building with those hurricane shutters now, we can vote to take them all out. And then for you, that have this where your is put away in a shed, I guess you said. So then, that being said, you could always take them out later.
Right, but the holes would still be.
The holes will still be there.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes. We're not pulling and patching that. No. Yeah.
You're not pulling the screws.
We're not patching any. Yes, correct. Yes. So those were
The outside. We're talking about really the outside.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah, no, I understand, but the question came up about this system too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I understand.
So, yeah. All right. So if nobody else has any questions, Isabella, do you want to explain to us how we'll move forward?
Yeah, but Kara has a question. She asked on the chat, can you confirm when the project will start again?
When could we start?
It's really your call. As long as we have it's signed, deposit, and then colors.
Okay.
And then, but prior to that, we can even have the PM here once
Okay.
you guys accept us and
Okay.
get the ball rolling. But from there, guys, we're about 2-3 weeks out to start. So it's really the ball's in your court for the acceptance
Okay.
and the deposit, and then the colors.
So if they're 2 to 3 weeks out, we can start moving on it this week.
Yes.
Contract signed, deposit, and to answer your other question, Tom, about how we, we're going to use, I think it was 19 from Sears, 10 from savings.
For savings funds. Mhm.
So that's 29,000 right there. 13, and then 13,000 with the special assessment. So we can just get it moving, and I'm sure we could work out.
Yeah.
In terms of like payments, we're giving 6 months for most people that ask to look. From what I understand, and from when I've talked to people, most people are going to pay their assessment right away. So it's not like it's going to be something dragging. If we have 4 or 5 people that want to pay 6 months, I'm sure we could cover them.
Yeah.
Pay him off in full.
Yeah.
And replenish the money as it comes in.
Also, so Sherwin-Williams would be likely the last to get paid. So you can extend that. We can work something out. Again, we're not going to die on the hill of
Correct.
$4,000 to move it along.
Yeah.
If that's where you're at and the gap and the delta is there, we can make it work. Okay.
We will not allow any lien or anything from a contractor to come on our property whatsoever. They will get paid. They will be,
Couple sticking points. The color and the clamshell shutters are both issues that have to be in the contract, right?
I think they're in the contract now.
No, sir. The color. Well, picking the color before we commence.
Yeah, we have to
Okay,
pick
we
that
have
color.
to do that.
Correct.
And then, is it correct that our color that we pick has to be in the contract with you?
No, sir. No, we put that into the the work the pre-work.
Okay.
Forgive me.
And
that gets added in. Yes, definitely is an addendum to the contract. Yes.
Okay.
Technically, because we do want to get it signed off because that color schedule is the North Star. We go top down. We have the roof line. We have the principal body. We have the unit doors. We have the masonry balustrades, and we have any other accents you want to add to trim or whatever. So basically, it's a 5 to 6 bullet points of color and sheen from Sherwin-Williams with initials. That's it.
And the clamshells, that has to be in the contract is right too.
Correct.
That's in the contract
It's
now.
already
$42,000 contract.
It's already listed there.
It's the estimate of the contract.
The estimate. Well, which will be the contract that we will sign.
Yeah.
Jose?
Side of the doors get painted.
Yeah, we'll do the outside doors.
I don't have the contract in front of me, but it should say unit doors. Forgive me, guys. It's been a minute, so I looked at it.
Yeah, I believe you did say
I
that.
think it's in our laws, our condo laws,
Yeah.
they have to be white.
No, it does? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I have service doors and
It
frames.
was nice
Yeah.
and pop it.
Yeah, whatever color we choose, it pops exactly right.
Yeah. Make it look crystal white.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we're finishing up with the paint. Is there anybody else with paint projects or questions? I know
color wise, are we trying to do a 2 week, let's take real time to this.
That's
If anybody, this, people who are online here, if we can email us back with any color suggestions so that it doesn't drag on for weeks. So we'll.
No, this week we gotta start nailing it down.
A week from today.
We wanna have this contract signed this week.
Suggestions should be emailed to one of us.
All of us. You guys all have our emails, you have, the management company's email?
Send out an email.
Yeah, in response to that email.
Or send out an email to all owners, then you can just bounce back to us, and that's all you gotta do. So please look at the little chip book and,
Whatever it's gonna take. Yeah, anything else for Kirk while we're here?
people who are online, you obviously can't see the chip book in real life, but if you're for the blue, I hear a couple people here talking about yellow. Whatever your desire is, say, I'm for this spectrum.
And sure, it only has numbers on it, so you can pick the color, the name, and the number.
Kirk, what does best in South Florida's sun as far as not fading and looking good 10 years down the road?
I mean, anything that's ultra deep base is a no-go.
Right.
It just fades significantly. It does fade uniformly, but that's the way I would not go. Some soft yellows are they call them clean yellows. They just don't have enough pigment in them. Those don't fade, but those don't generally last as long, or they don't have as much pigment as the other paints.
I had it on my plate and it didn't do good.
Yeah. So you guys have Latitude paint specified, which is an excellent paint with high solids. It's an upper tier.
Yes.
So I would stay away from heavy darks and just light canary-ish yellows, I would say. Those are the ones I would stay away from for your principal colors. If you wanted to use
Light blue?
light blue works as well. It does work, yes. Blue can be tough because it either can be moody or pastel, but the right blue is correct.
I want depression blue.
You want the blues, literally. Look, it's nice to have blue. That's a trickier one to get everybody on the same page with.
Yeah.
But I think that it's worth exploring and showing. Like, I can show you a building we painted around here, or photos of something, or show you a color on the chart that would work, so you guys get in a place where you guys feel like you have a consensus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions about the soffit that you have? Because I know people were asking about the soffit that was on the east side, a little bit on this side. So he is going to address the soffit. I know somebody brought up the question about a permit. Kurt said you do not need a permit for the city of Fort Lauderdale.
In 48 years, we pulled maybe one permit, and that was in different counties. You don't need a permit for the city of Fort Lauderdale to do a paint job per se. You can always go down there and ask for one if you want. I would not like to get them involved if we don't need to, right? But with respect to what we have going on in the contract, this is a good faith estimate. And unless there's anything above structural, that there's no reason to get the law involved, so to speak, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if there's any other questions, I remember we had the workshop and there was a lot of conversation, and I'm trying to make sure we're answering everyone's questions from there. I just can't remember everything off the top of my head. So if there's anything else, guys, please.
Infrastructure of the building taken care of? Everybody's questions? Because that was the big thing too.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. If there's anything else. Tom, you have anything else? Cheryl?
Questions are being answered, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's guys, all things being equal, it's one thing is saying, another thing is doing. I can talk all I want. We still have to deliver the goods. So you are fine folks. We live close to each other. I intend to give you guys a great paint job that's sustainable over time, so you can refer me to all your friends and family. That's where I really make my returns. Having the yard side down, having good experiences, and that seems old school, but actually that's the recipe for success.
Yeah.
So it's pretty simple.
I would suggest to everybody,
And if I may,
happy, give them a Google review when we're done.
Yeah.
And with respect to that, look, jobs have challenges no matter what. It's how you address it in the moment.
Yeah.
Does an oopsie happen here and there? Of course. A gallon of paint gets strapped by accident? Sure. What we don't do is pretend like it didn't happen and then blame you for it, right? That's not how we do business. So you guys know that we are here to communicate and address anything that does happen. Okay?
Okay. Isabella, Alexandra, is there any other topic that we could talk? I know we got to get Gabriel invoked into the board today. Is that correct?
Blood oath.
Yeah.
Yes. First of all, you will have to vote on the special assessment to approve it.
We have
Okay.
The actual-
So we're gonna vote. The board's gonna vote on the special assessment.
Yeah.
Kyra's there. So for Bonnie, Denise, myself, Kyra, I
I thought we already,
I think you have to do it officially now, so.
You gotta make a
I'm
motion.
gonna make a motion to approve
With the specific.
with this,
Dollar amount, all that jazz.
we're gonna do this, for the dollar amount of 42,000 and change, exactly what it is on the contract. And to start date and colors TBD, to be determined, and within a couple of days. So Bonnie, what do you say?
Yes.
Denise, yes.
Aye, Kyra.
Kyra?
Yes, 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 yes.
So that's yes all around. So we're good to go. Okay, Isabella, what's next? Anything else?
On that part, on the special assessment, no, you're already voted, so now, you can fill out the vacant, board positions.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we have two. We have two vacants, Ms. Denise Lavelle and Gabrielle Novoa. They're going to join the team today. I want to know what position is gonna have Ms. Denise Lavelle and Gabrielle Novoa. That's something that the board needs to decide.
Denise will be treasurer, right?
Right.
Treasurer, and Noah's going to be the president.
I don't know about that.
Okay, so Denise is going to be the treasurer and Gabrielle the president. Who voted for Denise to be the treasurer? I need to.
That was a joke.
We're going to add him as a board member for. We're not going to put him in the fire yet. We're just going to add him as a board member for now, and then we'll just go. We'll move forward from there.
Okay, I need to vote for Denise.
I never got the descriptions, for Gabriel, that one, he wants to be on the board. Why does he want to be on the board? This is what I had to go through.
Right.
And then I think there was one other thing. So I don't think it's quite official, until we get
You
to
still have to vote, and you still have to vote, so yes.
You have to vote. That's why I need two votes today for Denise to be a treasurer. It can be
Okay.
Bonnie, Billy, or Kyra.
Okay, I motion to make her treasurer,
I also, Bonnie Lease.
and then what do we do for Gabriel? I motion for him to be on the board, title TBD,
Just as a director.
as a director, what have
There
you.
you go.
Okay, and the second
Bonnie, you
vote.
want to second it?
I second that.
Okay. Kyra's
Okay.
probably going to say third. Okay, cool. So we're good.
All right, well, good.
Have your blessing.
She's in Brazil. She's got one foot at the beach and one. All right. So is there anything?
I'm about to drink my caipirinha. You guys are like just making everything, my life, my life difficult right now.
Yeah, that's funny. All right. So anything else that you have for us, Alexandra or Isabella?
Well, no, we already approved the assessment for 6 installments, correct? And we already approved the two vacants board positions. So we that's part of the agenda of today. So we finish with the agenda. Yes.
Okay. So if anybody else has questions, comments, concerns, Tom?
A couple things. There are some requirements of what we have to have on our website that are not there. You guys could work on that, please.
Absolutely.
Thomas mentioned that to me because I take care of the website. So, I'll get a hold of whatever contracts we need. I've got that in my notes. That's my job. I will take care of it.
Okay. Another thing is to have the minutes transcribed so we can just read them rather than have to listen to the recording.
Correct. Kyra does do that. Yeah, she does.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that after.
Yeah, she does that.
Okay.
She usually waits for Isabella to send her the Zoom meeting recording. So as soon as she gets it, she does it.
She listens
It's transcribed. Yeah.
over again.
Right.
And there is there's the meeting, but there's also just a link that is right now, I know it's 4 pages of last meeting.
Okay.
So and that's since January, that's all our meetings. There's a link that you can read what went on, or you can click on the video and listen to the whole meeting.
Just a couple other things that have to be on the website you guys are working on.
There's
that,
range.
End of the year accounting that we talked about.
I've already, Isabel, I think I sent you a note about that this morning, about financials, like any building has financials. I'm not sure if we got that. Do we have that?
Well, we have sent it to you guys. We reviewed them also on the annual meeting, but if you don't have it at hand, I can send it to you too, so that you can upload them in the webpage.
Okay.
Okay, great. Make sure you have Noah's Gabe's email and start including him on everything as well.
Could you tell us what that is?
Yep. So repeat that. Say again.
Could you tell us his email?
Yeah, we'll put it up on the website.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Thank
I'll
you.
send it to you, Cheryl.
We'll send it to you, Cheryl. We'll have it for you.
I'll be adjusting this, there's a link on our website that has a link to all the board members, and that will include, I think Tommy is or is she a
No.
board member? No.
No.
Okay. Gabe, because he's new, will be on there, and it will also have our email, phone number, blah, blah, blah. And it's just a little blurb that says, board members, boom, easy link, but for owners only.
Yes.
Okay.
One minor thing, a request to fix the light in the elevator that's been out.
Oh, that's new.
Okay. Yeah, guys, if you see something around the building that needs to be repaired, please notify us because we're not here all the time. We're not seeing everything.
Right.
People are gonna have specific start dates, specific jobs.
Yeah.
And when
So yeah. The other thing we're gonna do is now that Gabe's on the board, we're gonna delegate certain jobs to each person. So projects, certain things. I'll probably be on top of everything, but like Denise said, she'll be doing the website. Bonnie
I'll be the
deals with
pool.
vendors, pools,
Yeah,
certain things.
divvy up the workload.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So that also, all owners can reach out to somebody specific, and you can jump on Gabe and go, Gabe, why isn't that light bulb fixed?
Right.
Or whatever. So you're not getting everybody.
Right.
And so even board members can't point fingers. This is somebody's specific job.
right. So we all have specific. We want to be on top of things. So that's for sure.
Designated roles.
Designated roles, absolutely.
Boom.
The last thing, it could be after the meeting's adjourned, is the damn fence. Apparently, they're not gonna do anything about
The cats.
the fence.
Oh, the fence. Bonnie was on the fence. I think they came and said something. The other thing I would say is that we have renters here that slam the doors and they're just, I think it's just one person, myself, that does it. So, we've mentioned it to them once.
All the time.
So,
How about it to
But
start?
they did the noise suppression,
How about to start a big sign on each gate, both sides, that says, please do not let the gate slam shut.
please respect your neighbors and don't slam the gate behind
Start
you.
with a big-
Something like that.
If we could do that, just on.
I'll go to a sign company and start looking at that.
I'll make it up. Sharon will print it.
What?
Billy, that was a real asshole thing Betty would say.
What?
He forgot.
Well, then you gotta go to a sign company. How are we gonna get it? I'm not gonna write it on a piece of
No,
paper.
she meant, because that's what she, that's what she does.
Anyway, anything else, people? Any other questions? All right, so I guess we could adjourn this meeting. Is that correct?
Wait a minute. Just this is to everybody who actually lives here in the building, is the laundry room has been getting a little bit messed up. We hear other people complain of the door being left open, especially at night where critters and things like that can get in. Be respectful of that and just pick up your laundry sheets and stuff and make sure.
Yeah.
And clean out the dryer, the lint.
Yes.
Clean up the lint.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a hazard.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a couple things. Talking about the gate. Oh yeah, we did have a problem with that gate over there yesterday. It was reported to me. I told you to tell me about that. Where the gate was shut, but the code did not work. So I had them out here yesterday. I had Broward County Fence out here yesterday, and they did fix it. As far as slamming the doors, I agree with the signs. Thank you, Sharon. And the other thing I wanted to talk about are these stray cats that keep coming over here, especially on the west side of the building.
Right.
I'm sure everybody on the west side of the building hears them all the time. I contacted Animal Control. They are going to be bringing out 2 cat traps. We have to purchase them, $20 each. They are ours to keep. We could put them in my storage unit. I don't use it. Peter may use it, but we can keep them in there. What they do is once the cats are captured, they come and get them. They have them fixed and they bring them back to here. I made it clear I don't want them, but they did say there's some farmer out west that has a huge farm and he does look for cats that he needs to keep his rodent problem under control.
I think the other problem is feeding the stray cats. You feed them, they're going to keep coming back. So,
yeah,
we're not supposed to feed the cats or certain things that, we don't want possums and other creatures coming in, eating their food. It becomes a headache and more stuff. You know what I mean?
And also, if anybody has a pet that they keep inside, outside, I'll let everybody know when I'm putting the traps up. And I know Tom's cat, so if anybody, and I will not have them removed until I take a picture. If anybody does have any animals that you keep outside, indoor, outdoor, please let me know. Take a picture, send it to me.
I thought cats don't get rid of mice and rats then.
Yeah, but these cats over here scream.
Yeah,
all
all night long they're screaming.
night,
Almost like having conversations.
Well, smoke detectors. Since we are.
There goes that used to be.
It's battery operated smoke. Battery goes bad, they go off.
Well, I think with the battery operated, it's because what happens if you lose power, and if the building goes out, and the power in the building goes out, the batteries are back up. I think everybody has back batteries in their. Am I correct? Does everybody have batteries in their?
I think everyone's smoke
Electric
detector
find out.
is electric and battery.
And battery. That's just the way it is because by code, if the power goes out and there's a fire,
Battery as well.
right? Well, that's the way it is. That's the way the batteries are in the. So if people want to change their smoke detectors, go for it. I got no problem with that. Anything else, people? Or we can adjourn this meeting and enjoy this beautiful Saturday. Isabella, Alexandria, anything for us?
Nope.
No, we're
Okay.
waiting.
So we're gonna adjourn the meeting.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
I second it.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Look for emails and